Something happened to you? Yeah, food for us to eat.
Mama.
You say you miss your people. Why you like bringing shit to our princess? Looking for food to eat, can't bring rape. You better close your mouth. Place there. Because the plan, I ain't here for that thing. That one, you sorry for yourself. Look at it. What are they behind?
I think I saw where I am no boy. Just knock and then do it, you have for John.
I say you might be wearing your shades. Money. You know they care?
Who care?
They care, yeah.
I don't know who.
So that because my daughter can see me, so you say now, hey, the community people just love you.
So we can just
sought help from her community. They ask, why is she even pregnant? Instead of, Mama, please help me. Oh. Help me.
Hey, my daughter, I feel for what to do.
One or two. In fact, before the abortion, what did happen before abortion? No, don't tell me to calm down. Don't tell me what happened. I want to know.
Man, our daughter was raped.
What?
Yes, so what? In the body, even the now.
And now you have doubled this burden with that shameful act. And I trusted you. You should have watched over.
I was raped. I'm sorry. He betrayed me.
Rape care. Now who look at you, they rape you?
John.
But they John, I really get tears with me. Oh, all they believe you. We not have people say that the pastor nigga to that thing for people. Let me tell you now. So can I say, go on, I saw that she had this.
Hey.
La Jesus.
People taste ability pregnancy that. It can be John.
It can be John, man. Princess, no hope. But little princess phoned her screen. But she refused to let her voice die. A voice that rose above the silence.
Call me a weak because I cannot see. They call me a disgrace because of what was happening to me. But to every girl like me, blind, silenced, or abandoned, know this, you are not alone. I may be blind, but I see the truth. I see a brighter tomorrow.
It is the story of countless girls, hidden in silence,
with over 1,000 deaths per 100,000 live births, largely due to economic opportunities and perpetuate gender inequality.
Gender-based violence is widespread.
Experience. More than a conference, it is a movement towards equity, health, and a brighter future for Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen.
And equality. Also a member of the Amplifying Rights Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to officially welcome you to the... We have the Minister of Gender with the overview and the welcome. Thank you.
And it's so exciting that, so good morning to all of us. Feel welcome. This is a safe space, and we want all of us to contribute to the conversations over the next 3 days so that we all can access to all of our guests, our partners, to our speakers, to the young people, and to all of Bon County, and right next door in Yukutan. If you are listening to us, we say good to ensure that the issues are being discussed and emerging from the very, very grassroots. In 2023 was a very intentional effort to centralize is a recurring biannual event. As you can see, we have in the second conference, the health and rights. We have seen a continuing participation. The young people are our serious partners, and it's really services implement a gender, how much progress have been made, and how do we continue. The outcome of these elections in 2025 have ushered in significant policy shift in religious fundamentalist movements, a shrinking cyberspace national SRHR conference, building on the foundation laid in 2023, and the conference include, but may not be limited to, the following: foster through inclusive and evidence-based discussions, generating actionable reflective strategies that keep us safer and for sustainability. This is an effort that is going to continue by the support contribution of partners. The names will be called as we go along. But we want to say thank you to the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Centering Sexual Reproductive Health and Rights on the national conversation to 10 or 15 years. We have to move forward and we have to be deliberate. We need to put resources and to decide how we want to continue on advocacy, talk about the emerging issues, and be able to come up with recommendations.
Quiet. What today, Mazwa? Today, we're breaking all the false narrative.
We're not even joking with it. Make sure that folks who couldn't be here today but are in the rural community, ready? Each of you have just 2 minutes. Bon County, Saturday.
Access to sexual reproductive health and right for all Liberians, not one. It gets sometimes. When you are told not to.
Now we'll be given 2 minutes to.
Good morning, everyone. Okay. Good morning, Excellencies, honorable guests, colleagues, and friends. Healthcare is not a privilege, but a basic human right. We're working both here family planning and abortion care through our brands and the capacity building efforts. Affirm our shared leaders and gathering to ensure the SRHR of Liberians and extending and spread the fact that sexual and reproductive health and rights is basic to start a business or just simply space their pregnancies. For the people of Liberia to the great reception we have experienced throughout the years. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. The breakfast was small. You're sounding hungry. Good morning, everybody. UNFPA. We also have Doris Ikpeza from IPAS. We also have our Madam Lima. It's a great honor and pleasure to be here this morning to this important reproductive health and rights, freely, safely, and with dignity. At RFSU, we believe that sexual and reproductive health and rights are not accessed and silent voices. This is why RFSU is proud to stand with partners who are breaking these barriers every day. Possible when we invest in local leadership, and we have seen more young people access information, more women claim their reproductive rights, and more conversations open up solidarity with those at the front lines of change, and push for policies grounded in rights and evidence. Let us continue to break the barriers so that every person,
Ikpezi. My boy, I be clapping now.
It's such a pleasure to be here. Access to SRHR available for all Liberians and support that they need. At IPAS, we believe that access to SRHR is not a privilege with dignity. Today's conference is a great opportunity for us to learn from each other, share experience, and I wish us all a fruitful deliberation today. Thank you.
The new UNFPA representative in Liberia. So I'm taking the floor here on behalf of Dr. Dazon Dixon Jallo, our reproductive justice expert. Organizations, particularly women-led and youth-led organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the resident coordinator of the United Nations, I therefore wish to congratulate the organizers, particularly Amplifying Rights Network. The United Nations recognize SRHR as area has made notable recent progress toward the president to introduce a legal ban maternal death per 100,000 live births to, as I said, remain very high. Gender-based violence remain a serious challenge. Remain high at the average of 30%. This has an impact not only on the investment in adolescent girls' education, health, and protection systems. This set out addressing stigma, actionable recommendations to strengthen legal frameworks, service delivery, sphere for reflecting, planning, and strategizing, and most importantly, together we can break the barriers. I thank you all.
Let me recognize all the distinguished people in the room and online this morning. Reproductive Health and Rights Conference that has been organized by, gave the background, the overview, and she mentioned the objective of timely and important. And this is something that marginalized groups can access sexual and reproductive health, demonstrates political will, like I heard Fasia mentioned, at the highest, pursuing clear SRHR priorities. Civil society organizations to ensure inclusive, right-based approaches. At the ministry, mentorship. And the focus is on reduced to be trained in 5 counties, namely Grand Bassa. Our legal unit provides critical support by assisting survivors with legal advice involving former deputy minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and an employee from the is ensured, and that psychosocial support is provided as well. Reaffirm our commitment to ensure that justice is center hotline, which is 116. Additionally, through the Spotlight Initiative 2.0, currently under development our national response to gender-based violence and to challenge harmful norms in sectors to improve access to quality care, protection, and empowerment of dialogues into tangible actions that truly break barriers and advance the rights and well-being of every, but as a moral and national obligation for equality.
Okay, so you know how they say all work, no play. Put your hands together for her.
A big thank you also to ED, Naomi, Tule Sonkare for the opportunity. Rehabilitated now, most of them are doing well because we all live in the same house. I'm believing God this year to mobilization songs. We create jingles. So please, do business with. Are you ready?
This is reproductive health and rights. It's human handkerchief. We breaking the barriers.
I need to hear it right. Did you enjoy that? Okay, you're about to enjoy more of it. This is what we're Notia Ballon. A round of applause for him. Today we are promoting it, so I want you to keep clapping as he comes on.
We're breaking barriers and we're building futures, struggling with and where we hope to go. Over the past I've made underpinned by strong government leadership and utilization. As of 2023, Liberia prevalence rate among married women has increased up to 24%. In terms of maternal and newborn health, maternal health remains deaths per every 100,000 live births. This achievement shows declining trend in newborn care and emergency obstetrics services. Nonetheless, 6% of pregnant women receiving at least one antenatal woman, and this indicates a slow but steady decline. This that affect adolescent girls' autonomy, education, and health outcomes. Speaking of health services and community health platform. Furthermore, efforts speaking to youth engagement and empowerment, increased youth participation has been a key stigma and promoting health-seeking behavior among adolescent health and rights services. Amongst these, the high mortality, rural and hard-to-reach areas underserved, human resource and capacity gaps, social, cultural, and gender barriers, stigma, gender inequality, and collective referral pathways are limited, and limited use of real-time data for this in accelerating progress. Liberia's sexual, reproductive, and health rights landscape, empowering community health assistance and middle-level providers to deliver health and rights education and access, expanding sustainability, enhancing to save reproductive health, adolescent access, reduce stigma, and promote, will improve accountability and program targeting, leadership, partnership, and community action. Yet, persistent challenges forward. The Ministry of Health remains committed to accelerating progress through a right-based workforce, supply chain, and community engagement will be vital to improving the quality and digital health and youth leadership. Liberia can transform how sexual reproductive health show that every person, regardless of age, gender, social, or location,
who is our speaker, and she's Madam Noah Ada Kasser. A round of applause for her. Today we are breaking barrier. Thank you.
Thank you. And I bring greetings from the people of Bonkante, especially Palala, almost all. But yet and still, intentional we are about sexual reproductive health and rights. looking at the landscape, sexual reproductive health and rights, and landscape. The landscape, yes, yeah, no. Looking at Bongwan, where there's no path for even a motive. If we even say we are using the media, where is your courage? It will be incomplete when we don't have the informed information. Oh, I don't know. I just see the outside of my body, but I don't see the inner progress. Have we made progress? The level of progress we have made, and I believe I join everybody in this room to say no. Liberia has developed several policies and strategic alliance with domesticated these policies and framework. Awareness of reproductive health issues among we ourselves. NGOs coming to help. And so in our work, group of women at the water side, it's already on the knee. The helper will come and take it from the knee. If I don't talk about Amplifying Rights Network, I visited the office on Lofa Highway, the hub. I saw one of our pillows, and a strong pillow comes from the Swedish government. I salute you. Every one of you, thank you. From the rural angle, before City College, you will see the rural girls there. Go to PCTC, you will see rural girls there. Because we have, so to remind you, rural girls, the work is so of our lives. Urban people, you will see rural people. Look at, you will see huge group of rural people, they have and rights. When we are talking about progress, as a rural woman, I am not an issue. An issue that rural people can identify and urban people can identify. And so that is power. Power to the people. Just include.
We finish giving all the information, and so the partners, as she clearly stated, we say thank you. Finally, Manoa.
Before I get down from the right desk, the police, where is, what did you have, Roya? Before I sit down, where is the minister of, take it from me, please. I think I need to get on my knees, eh? Please give us, please. Thank you.
So we say thank you. And whatever she say, I'm in correlation with her. Please sign it. As a matter of fact, pardon me.
Their friend anymore. I don't want to have to deal with them anymore. Kind of starts from very early ages. A few years back, a very powerful fellow women from Liberia, Cotto Williams and I, they had made that word to be a bad word. And so a body that you can't touch, that you can't talk about, from that age, you are being restricted, and this reproductive health and rights doesn't start when you're 18. So culture. The second thing that I want to lift is education, community, because everyone is concerned about the teen mothers. But if you even know, say, it wasn't even enjoyable. I wore condom. The truth to that is that until all of this awareness about reproductive health and rights starts, man, know why you talk about signing the health law. One word that Liberian politicians, as far as to the highest, you have no right to decide on our bodies. And then there are some cases where I know that people will soon excommunicate me from their church. There are some cases where young girls are raped. They are not deciding what we do. To the young women in this room,
Lane F. Babi. Please clap for her. And I like
SRHR. Interestingly, the older people are our main advocates in the struggle for human rights through sexual and reproductive health. 89, the first sexual and reproductive justice organization focused on women for SRHRJ in public health and prevention policies and programs of influence. Women Research Initiative and the founding member of Sister Song African Descent Worldwide. She has achieved a deep reach with a diverse community public health from the University of Alabama. Our guest speaker has blazed many trials with her national companion of effective evidence-based HIV prevention into HIV and SCIs in promoting human rights. It's called the 2020 Leaders Advocacy. And high impact combination prevention of HIV and gender-based and has received numerous awards and integrity. She is originally from Fort Valley.
Yeah, no, that was a lot, and I give thanks. And let me just say, not fair without running through all the lists, but I wanted to do right because we don't get the chance to do this at home. I'm with you, Lena. She takes care of making sure you are sure. Conversation with you today. I got a story, just demure Asian sister who works for the hotel. But then I said, what's the complaint? I don't need them today. But then what we're dealing with in Liberia, you would be selling something else that happened in that moment, and I'll share that in the next part of my story. But what room was dirty and filed the complaint against. So ARN and friends, training. They need to understand what it means to be a part of the public health system because we are all in the perfect place at the perfect time. It is an honor. More proud of her is none other than Dr. Layli Maparian, the new president of Hookups later this week. But as I am sitting there complaining about the complaint, she states for the past 19 years, including this year, we great. And it is all women, and it is organizers and workers here in Liberia striving for their fair treatment and wages, especially in the rubber industry. Especially the rights of women and girls of African descent. And I believe that change is most effective and most durable storytelling and universal alignment with those who are in the struggle for justice and liberation. In 1983, when a group of more than 2,000 black women under the leadership of Billy organized to achieve them. That seminal conference sparked a multitude of movements and organizations. 18 years old, I was there. It changed my life. It gave me my purpose, and it inspired my journey. Change that you will win for Liberia's women, girls, men, boys, gender expansive, and good one. And the sub-themes, as you will discover in your deliberations, will call on it. Our minister brought our barriers on your work and your struggle. I do know that a large part of the successes you have achieved, stone change, that you are able to win along the way. Trust me, parts of the movement, they were doing all the good hard work of the division. First time in the history of our country where a one right was taken away. chosen for the discussions this year, you clearly have your eye on the prize and are heading in a direction that is meant to ensure you will move in SRHR advocacy and creating safe spaces for their engagement. From fertility crisis and the pursuit of some futurism on the agenda, such as digital tools, community health systems. It's already been mentioned around the data-driven. We'll call on you to do more promoting than just breaking the barriers. Not only will you break barriers through promoting access to SRHR, and for that access by almost everyone, if not, and use at your disposal, and see what other frameworks may need to be brought, if it takes, as it will, many generations. Renew. You're reforming policy. You may consider reforms that are institutional, that are structural, that are social, and re-engage community at every level with the efforts to, and you hear what they say, and you respond to what you heard, not what's framework. I make no assumptions that just because we say the words human rights, that everyone knows what we mean. SR75 was a significant step in that direction. But in order to realize the 8 pillars of human, to articulate and locate these rights in their own lives and into the governance of the country at every level in law, before you put it into practice. Of my organizing universe is the sexual and reproductive justice framework, which is rooted in the human rights framework with social justice. It was coined by a group of 12 black women in the United States who were concerned and dissatisfied with equitable access to health care, including safe pregnancies and birth. Fertility assistance, parental rights, HIV prevention, treatment, and care, violence against women, postpartum care in the ways and desires of the persons who are pregnant and giving birth, natural and more. No more shackling during childbirth if one is institutionalized or incarcerated, or discrimination for sex outside of marriage that results in unwanted pregnancies. Pillar number 3, the right. 4, the right to bodily autonomy, to decide for ourselves what happens to and what we sides of health and rights. We add a third side that is justice and reproductive health, rights, and the right to bodily autonomy. To affect policy at the national level and at the local line at blackrj.org. Mental health care and well-being, assisted reproductive technology and fertility care, justice, housing justice, immigrant justice, aging and elder justice, policy or mobilization work in any of these areas. Similar to making sure that there's an S in the detail, we've also embraced and employed the framework. Experiences are incorporated into our services. In this to end all the oppressions. So, has developed the C5 calling in framework, which helps individuals to create change in the world. The spectrum of C5 calling in offers 5 ways to engage when a harm occurs situation. And each response can be incredibly effective, but not every style works for everyone in every situation. Maybe it's someone in church. Maybe it's someone in your group or in your classroom. Yeah, we know canceling because that's what happens online. People say something and the next thing you know, consequences is what's canceling. And calling in, which is the key and the cornerstone, you can do this better. You can do that with the people in your networks, in your families, and also in your governments and in your other structures. Sonia Renee Taylor doesn't mean we have to cancel them, doesn't mean we have to embarrass them, it does mean we have to let them know. And then of course there's the last one, which is the one that the hard times. When the work gets the worst is when we have to show up with our best strategies. You can all read about Loretta's work on calling in if you choose to work in the very difficult space of death row for people who are caught up on the worst side of criminal justice, mostly and almost solely because they are poor. So I started calling him my movement muse until I met him. and then I confessed my claim. Proximate to the problems. Get as close as possible to the issue and the people who are living in the shadows or suffering from the issue. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley from Boston, Massachusetts, the first ourselves or our work, challenge the stories and ideologies that foster AIDS victims. For people living with AIDS that disempowered them, dehumanized them, create a whole identity that they did not control, especially in the face of discouragement and injustice. Is it through prayer? Is it through meditation? Is it through remembering your joy? Is it remembering? Real change requires taking actions that are inconvenient and uncomfortable, because the problems addressed by social justice are often rooted in comfortable arrangements for some and much discomfort. With me? You show? All right. Before I take leave of this podium, I really want to do one last thing, and I need you to help me. I'd also like you to do, if you're next to somebody, is lock arms, elbows to elbows. Lock arms. Sentence for a crime she did not commit, and in 1979, with the help of her comrades in the struggle, she escaped and our freedom. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. It is our duty. That's enough. Now, I just want you to march in place. Let's start. Let me hear it. Singly none, and by union we one, many stones to form an arch. Singly none, singly none.
Yeah, so step by step, the longest march can be won. SRHR. In the hallway upstairs, downstairs where the lunch is being served. Huh? And then on Friday is from the cultural performers, and then
all the sessions are important. We're here on Vera Musa, Dr. Sue Montho, Please give a round of applause. The stage is yours.
SRHR! SRHR! I'm 17, 18 years old. And the girl saw her period for the first time when she told her mom said, oh, he said, he let it go. So the girl said, Mama said, when any man let her on me, I will get better. Oh. He said, no, don't worry me. I don't want to let her on the boy. So, but you get you pregnant. So information is key. Let us give the right information. Let us gather the right information for us to be able to make this to SRHR. This is a very important discussion. So in order to discuss this all-important discussion or this conversation, we have a group as well as Dr. Sue Mo Shaw. I hope I got it. Thank you very much. Okay, so kickstart.
My name is Dwedi Tape, and I am the program lead for SRHR. And
hello. Y'all can hear me? Yes. Okay. So good afternoon to everyone. My name is Ferry. Health workers. We work with the community. We work with the county health team to ensure that they provide quality healthcare services. Also, my work ties to the conference theme, breaking the barriers and promoting access, because through the performance of these young and wonderful panelists, and looking forward to learning from them, also to share my experiences as well. Thank you.
Drive a lasting impact. So we are going to begin by asking each one of you.
Although I work with the Ministry of Health, but I'm part of this conference as an expert. We all more or less may be accustomed to partners' support, which is very important. Good things that we learn from them. And so as a country, since our minds go to finance, but even the thought process about the topic is towards human development and what we have learned.